of Rain 2 is still one of the most batshit insane roguelikes ever created. This game goes hard, okay? Too hard for its own good. You are seriously missing out if you've never checked this one out. The gimmick of it is fairly simple. You kill monsters, obtain money and buy items until you turn into a 4,000 km/h one-hit KO machine. It's a tough, challenging game that really puts your skills to the test, but if you manage to get a run to go in your favor, it is a buttload of fun. Stacking items really is the name of the game. Well, not literally, but you know what I mean. I already talked about the base game in a video about 1.5 years ago, so if you want to check it out, you can click right here. This video is kinda cringy and way too energetic though, so you've been warned. So, once Foekoe revealed that they were gonna do multiple DLC drops in the coming years for this game, I got quite excited since they can do so much more with the Risk of Rain 2 concept. The vision I had in mind was something very similar to Isaac DLC. Experiencing a content drop in this franchise was always phenomenal because of how much new stuff they added every single time. Except Afterbirth Plus, this one kinda sucked. But surprisingly, they didn't do that. Instead of overwhelming you with new fun ideas and items, it gives you a handful of more refined concepts to play with. And you know what? It's hella fun. So big thumbs up to Foekoe, they absolutely nailed it. Survivors of the Void is the first DLC to be added to Risk of Rain 2. I think we can all agree when I say that DLC in video games usually kinda sucks a lot. On the top of my head, I can name 5 games that have some fun DLC, and all of them build upon the original game. They don't add in some extra game mode that feels half-baked or a stupid cosmetic outfit that gives you some extra buffs, but they improve or expand what was already there, and this is exactly what Survivors of the Void does. It is a nice thick slice of new content to feast upon, including 40+ items, 2 survivors, 11 monsters, 3 bosses, a new game mode, and a bunch more. So let's just zoom through all of it and I'll give you a verdict at the end, alright? Awesome. Let's start off with the items because, woo! It's pretty cool what they added. I mean, sure, they added a few commons and uncommons, sprinkled in a few legendaries, equipments, and lunars, and most of them are a lot of fun to play with. Most of them, not this one. But they also added a whole new tier called the Void items, and this is really cool, alright? Instead of just giving you an item like a boring little baby game, it gives you a corrupted version of an already existing item that has a very opposite effect, and it will also corrupt all stacks of that item's uncorrupted counterparts. So if you decide to pick up a Void item, you are basically stuck with it for the rest of the run. Well, I guess you could use the Shrine of Order, but that just screws you over. I think that this is a brilliant mechanic because it can turn some of the crappy garbage into good usable items depending on what class you play, and that's the whole point of this game. Making a fun, wacky build. I mean, you're recycling bad items all the time, but this actually makes them useful. Lost Seer Lenses are good on Commando and Multi, Lysate Cell on Engineer, Weeping Fungus on Mercenary, Saver Spaces on Railgunner. Whoa, that is a new character. What a cool transition into my next subject. The characters, Railgunner and Void Fiend. These are great additions to the already existing roster. The best part about the characters in Risk of Rain 2 is that all of them feel unique in their own way. I mean, sure, there are multiple melee characters, but they still have their own little quirks. These two also just fit in perfectly. The Railgunner is a quickscope machine. You deal big chunks of damage in a short time frame, but you are really vulnerable when multiple enemies start to surround you. Void Fiend, on the other hand, fluctuates between a defensive and offensive playstyle continuously, and you have to keep an eye on this little corruption bar and try to manage what form you want to be in and when. Just like the rest of the characters, these are a buttload of fun to play, and they really do bring something new to the table, which is great. Void Fiend is probably my favorite out of the two, but don't let that underestimate the Railgunner, because quickscoping noobs is a really good time. They also added these Void Seeds that can randomly spawn on a map, and they create a big purple void dome with some goodies in them, but you can only access them if you kill all corrupted void enemies on a stage, and these are a bitch and a half, man. Mainly because they can apply the collapse debuff with just it just insta-kills you. Fun times. But also because if you kill one, a little irritating bug gets loose that tries to corrupt another enemy. These are the same bugs that appear when you open a void cradle, so your main goal should always be kill the 4-pixel wide bug that jumps around the map like a ballerina. Okay, what else do we got? Gup. Gup is my new favorite antagonist in the history of gaming. Please move over, Mario. They added some new maps and music, including a unique track in the Google Stadia timed exclusive map. That's not a joke, by the way. This really happened. There's a new final boss. The new game mode is alright. Locked boxes always dropped legendary items, which was a bug, and they changed it back. RIP, my old friend. And that's basically it, alright? I'll say it again, okay? Video game DLC is usually complete dog doo-doo, but Survivors of the Void is a shining example of how to tackle it. Don't just bloat the game with worthless skins or game modes. Just see what works and expand on it. That's all you have to do. It doesn't need to be as gigantic as an Isaac DLC, but just give me more of what you already had. I've poured about 40-ish hours into this DLC so far, and I've really enjoyed all the things they added, so my final verdict is... yeah! What, you thought I was gonna give it a score? Well, too bad, dickhead. Just go buy the DLC already. Goodbye.